Hello everybody, hope you're well. We've got a bit of an odd job week or two ahead of us. It's not like what you see in the other YouTube videos or TV programmes where it's all progress, and what we've done today. Sometimes there's a stage that comes that it's just these really odd little crappy jobs that you just have to get through in order to progress on to the next thing. So that's where we're at, unfortunately. But I say that it's also a bit of a milestone, because as soon as you get through that, you're on sort of the home run. So yeah, this episode will be like stripping wallpaper off, getting ready for the plasterer, putting door frames in, that sort of thing. My remortgage has come through, so I've managed to get me a coffee at £3.60. Jesus. Right then. But first things first, that's the roof, all finished. Just needs to ridge tiles on, which we can't do until the rubber roof's on, which we can't do until the roofers have finished the tile hanging the cheeks of the dormer, the walls of the dormer, which they're here now doing. We won't bother them, but they are here, cracking on with that, so hopefully by the end of the week that might be done. As I walk you up here, we've got Richard's timber all set up, because he's going to be doing a stud wall upstairs. We'll show you that in a second. Look how yellow that grass is. I'll tell you what, if your livelihood is dependent on the weather, that's not really a bad sign at all. Right then, moving on. So as you'll know from previous episodes, or maybe you don't, if not, go back, have a look, see what you think, let us know. You'll know that we are done for now in the loft. All that is plasterboarded, so there's nothing we can do up there now. We've got to wait for the plasterer to do his thing, but he's not here for a couple of weeks yet, I think, so we're a bit ahead of ourselves, which isn't a bad thing, but there we go. This is one of the things, just got to wait. So moving on then, here's Richard.
Richard's best side.
That's his best side, yeah. Oh, you said that about moving your lips.
Go on in.
He's just prepping, he's going to be putting his stud wall in. In fact, what I'll do, I'll turn you around and I'll show you exactly what we're doing. Right, the banging you can hear is all from the roofers upstairs, so we'll leave them to it. So, because we've done all that up there, we can afford now to move back downstairs and just start finishing off some jobs that have sort of been left half finished. So what I'm going to do, I've put my hose pipe with me, I've got my steel saw here, so I'm going to set up and cut this down so we've got room for a doorway to emulate, stand back, emulate this one. It's just going to be mirrored over there, which we then walk into this bedroom. Richie's doing this wall here, which will completely section off, make this one room. Other things that can be done is that the door frame can go in here, so you walk into this room and then that is this room here, so we can do all that. I'm going to start taking the some of the wallpaper off, see if I can see how bad that is. It's always a painful job, but it can be. We've got to insulate all this up here. Excuse me. Little bits of brickwork that we can be putting around the steels as well, up there, and I've done that one. Just a couple that we didn't get a chance to do, so we'll start. I'll get all those done as well. Just those little things up there as well, and just plod through and do like a mid-job snagging. I think this week that's all it's going to be. Ready for the electricians to come in this week, and the plumbers are coming this week. So we're cracking off all these little jobs that need doing, whilst waiting for them basically to do their thing. And then once they've done, then it all opens up the fact that we can insulate and plasterboard all these ceilings and start prepping again for the plasterer. So what I'm going to quickly do, you can see how I've scored this wallpaper here. I'm going to use spray on this stuff, let it soak in, and then give it a scraping. It's not looking like it's going to put up too much of a fight. It's all right. So that solution, which is good solution, it's good stuff on stuff and stuff. So that it should help. But we'll see. All right, we'll crack on. We'll let you know how we get on. Right, I'm going to talk you through what my preferred method of taking wallpaper off. I know it's a silly, laborious task, and you really need tips, and you just scrape it off, don't you? But what I've really found is that this stuff really does help. So it's only from Screwfix. So all I've done is put some of that with some water into an old spray bottle that I've got, and then I've bought this. This is from the same company, I think, or at least it comes with this. Is it Zinsta? This sort of thing, and all it does, if you look over here, there's your wallpaper. It's got blades on the back on wheels like a shopping trolley, and then you just go around in circles and it just perforates the paper really well. You could do it with a Stanley knife and just go around and just score it, but that'll take ages, and it's you won't get it as good as that unless you spend a lot of time on it, where that is just really easy. So I do that all the way over the wall and then spray the solution on it. If it works, there we go. Then I'm just going to leave that for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to it and I'll show you how easy it is to scrub off. Right, so that's had a couple of minutes now, so let's give it a go. There we go, that's coming off lovely. Beautiful. Excellent, so I'll just continue that now over the entire wall. Now granted, there is a really shiny back into this by the look of this, like a painted surface, which is always going to help because the glue wouldn't have adhered as great to that. So where I might come into a bit of a hassle is this stuff, which looks original and been there for years and proper on and probably straight onto plaster. So this might be a bit more difficult. So we'll try it with this and we'll let you know. But as it stands, well, I've used this a few times now and it's well worth it. So if you've got a load of wallpaper stripping to do, and you're just not looking forward to it at all, because it can put a right down on your day, give it a go. Why not? As I say, Screwfix. What's the worst that can happen? Is it safe to come in? Is it safe to come in?
Right. Okay. So, I've said many times on this channel, I like to do myself a pattern. Multiple times I've said, do yourself a pattern and you can cut them all the same. So in this instance, what I've done is, I cut myself, I've cut myself, okay. So I cut myself a bit of a pattern, well, not a pattern, but a block for there. Because when you're setting your stud work out, you always know that it's centre from there to there. So it's never centre like that. So anyway, I'm digress a little bit. So what I did then, I cut myself a pattern to make it easier to then put all the noggins in here, rather than to measure individual one. So what I'll do then is I'll put this on the bottom, like that. I'll level the first one in case the wall's not level. I'll put that in there and then I'll fire it in. And then move it across, and then what I'll do then is I'll measure level, come across again, lovely jubbly. However, on this occasion I completely didn't look at the fact that I put pat on there. And I picked this one up, which is 22.5mm smaller. So three sips out, and I'm cutting through nails at the minute. But I don't want to talk about it anymore.
They're all
right. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've hurt myself and everything.
Well,
I can do that on the channel.
You have now.
Sorry about it. We'll put brackets on it then. It's all right.
Well, you know, your surname's Wood. You've been a plank. Hand down, hasn't it?
I haven't been doing it long now, have I? Let's face it.
Right, crack on with it now. Got the wallpaper off there. And off here, it's come off really easy. What is left though is the backing paper, but scoring that, which I've done, and then put the solution on that we talked about earlier, that'll just come straight off as it has everywhere else. Rich has been cracking on, stud walls up. He's also studied that doorway out there so the frame can go on tomorrow. Speaking of frames, we've now got to cut this out to take our door frame there, our fire door frame there. So, which brings us neatly on to things not to do in somebody's house, part 1. And that is, use one of these bad boys. Now, the dust off these is phenomenal. There's no dust, what's the word I'm after, extraction with it. There is dust suppression, which is just a hose pipe, some water going through it just to try and keep it down, but it's going to be horrendous. At the very least, you're going to have the petrol fumes coming out into somebody's house. So there's only very small instances that we'd consider using it, and this is one of them because the people have moved out, and the how the house is at the moment, it's literally a building site, so we can do it here. You've got to make a choice. You either fill the place full of dust or you flood the place with the water on, and we've chose to flood it. So we've got some bits of carpet underlay down there just to try and soak up some of the water. If I just crack the water on it and not give it the full beans, then that will stop as much water coming out, but at the same time you want enough water to be coming out in order for it to do its job of trying to keep the dust down. So it's a bit of it's a bit one of them. You've got to do it and do as quick as you can. So let's get on with it. Let's cut it out and then we'll assess the damage after. What I should say about this is that for those of you eagle-eyed will know about these things, you may have already noticed, this is the 350 version, which means that the blade is 350mm wide in diameter, not 300mm, which is the standard one. The difference is obviously the blade is 50mm longer, which means that it will go straight through this wall in one. The problem with the 300mm blade is that if you were to cut a brick, even if it had no plaster on it, like so, it'll just be shy of going all the way through. Yes, it's easy enough to break off and clean up after, but if you try and do cuts for brickwork and make them all nice, and it's a bit of a nose. And if you're cutting doors out of a solid wall as well, you do your 2 cuts here, and then you still have to break it out, and it's just annoying. It's just that fraction too short, but this thing flies through. And there we go.
Well, that was easy.
Right the way through.
And not that much mess either, really, in the grand scheme of things.
You can see, can't you, how good the in terms of how the dust in the air, how much dust is in the air, I should say, how good the water is by going through it. But you end up flooding the place, and the stinker spectral.
Sink the what? Sink of the wattle? What we're talking about wattle? Do you see what's it advert from the 80s?
The stink of petrol throughout the house is pretty strong, so we don't recommend that you use it in somebody's house unless the circumstances are perfect, in which case they are. So, but there we go.
Yes,
that's
no
it.
customer. End of the day for us. Vented outside, still upstairs, loft still fully vented. So
yeah,
it'll be clear by the morning. We can crack one of these little windows because no one can get in, and we can vent it tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, another great job done. End of the day.
Cut that off. Get rid
That's
of
perfect.
That.
That's
There's your door
perfect.
frame.
Look at that. There we go.
Excellent. Right then. Right, and that's it. All cut out. Bolted all that out. And cut that. So that's that job done. I'll nip onto the scaffold now. See how the roofers have gotten today. They've just left. Oh, nice. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? Very nice. He's finished this lath off. I can't remember if we mentioned it before in the videos, but he spent half day here before, and I think he started from the top. He got to about there, did he? Maybe to the bottom of the windows. So today he's put the rest of the lath in. He's put the eaves protector in here, I presume. Yes, there it is, look. Excellent. So all that's tiled. And here's he got on round here. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's his tiling done. On the main roof anyway. The bonding gutter there. All the way down. Lovely. What that does is give a clear, defined, this is our roof. That's where it stops. That's where your roof starts. So if next door ever have any work done on theirs, then come to that, and that's where it is. And as you can see, it's slap bang in the middle of that chimney. So excellent. Oh, very nice. Easily pleased, aren't I? Right then, that's enough for today. We'll see how we get on tomorrow. Have you said a Ferrari, Rich, pull up?
I have a Ferrari, yeah.
Oh, the electricians, are you?
As well.
Oh, hello, Charlie. How are you?
Yeah.
All right, heard you coming from a mile away. You're all right, are you?
Yeah, not bad. I thought he was only a cheap car, because he's an apprentice, isn't he?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's only one of the... It's only an Enzo, isn't it, I think? We should just sorting out this door frame, making sure it fits into the hole that we made yesterday. Does it? Of course it does.
Yeah,
of course it does.
Measured it, didn't we?
Almost as if it was measured, yes. Yes. And we've got an apology to make. As you know, Charlie's here today, and we mocked him for having a Ferrari, being an apprentice electrician, but he's not. He's not.
He's actually just finished. Tell us, Joel, what have you just finished?
Just finished my level 2 at college.
Nice going.
So this is on the camera, official apology to Charlie.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Every day's a school day. We're all apprentices.
Yeah.
Always learning.
And
Not as much as Charlie.
right, we need another clarification. He's just upgraded himself, Charlie. Go on.
I did my level 3 at college, not level 2.
See?
I've done both.
So we take the piss out of him, and he's taking the piss out of
I
himself.
know, yeah, he's downgrading himself. Now he's upgrading himself. What he's just done is put another 20% on the invoice, hasn't he? That's what he's just done.
what it is,
Oh, no, I'm level 3, honest.
That's another 20% on the invoice. Level 3.
He's just seen the price of fuel.
Why's he going to pay his butler? He's just moved his car.
Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. It's raining. Why is it raining? Is it raining because you've had 3 weeks of beautiful sunshine? No, it's raining because I've got plasterboard on the back of the van and I'm going to struggle to get it in. That's why. How are you?
Loving the rain, man.
Yeah,
The rain.
ice. Doesn't the gardens need it?
Oh, doesn't the grass need it? My fake grass doesn't need it though.
No.
I don't need it. Thanks. Saw a gap just before we finished in the rain. Get the boards in without getting them soaked, thank goodness. Charlie has just finished. So he's got all his runs in down here now. Or so it started. He's got to go from here now up and round to the one in that back bedroom there. So we've moving some boards, so we thought, you know what, let's put some on the wall. So we've done that. Put these frames in, ready to go. Walking around, and then we've got these runs in here, look. Runs in here, runs in there. Got that running, come over the top of there. That frame's in and all foamed, ready to go. And he's started his running here, end of the day. He's going to come down to there, and then we are going to put another one over there to enable him to come round here and back to the one in there, sorry, the one which is the one going one from the wall. Where the cables are there, you can see there's a socket just there. He's going to come from this one through the wall and then right through to that socket then as well, because that's where the main comes in. Or back to the board, sorry, should I say. That's the end of his ring. Once that one comes round from there and then back down to the board, which is under the stairs. So there we are then, end of the day. So tomorrow we'll have a really good tidy up because everything's looking a mess again. Even though we have had a good sweep up just to get rid of the main dust from under our feet. But we'll do that first thing tomorrow because the lads are back on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Just to get the final lot done of the first fix electrics, which is mainly the spotlights now. And just connecting the ring up to the board. Or at least dropping it ready to connect to the board, should I say. And then, like I say, we'll start decanting the stuff we don't need now. Like my little scaffold, we'll get rid of that. We may finish the boarding up there, but then we have got to get the lights down, but we don't take them in yet because of light, blah, blah, blah. All these things we have to look at. Plumber is here at some point this week. We thought he was coming tomorrow, 17th, but apparently not. I think he's coming Friday. So, and he can start doing his plumbing. But the good thing is it won't stop us now to insulate and board this side because up to this point, which is a steel, the bathroom is there. Upstairs, or the ensuite should I say, so we can have this run here for anything he needs to do, and then he can pick up his feeds from the bathroom. When he takes strips all this, he can get his feeds and then reconfigure everything and come through here all the way through and then up into the ensuite. So at least we can do that front bedroom, and the landing up to the steel anyway. So that won't stop us if we can carry on. And we can do like things like bonding all that in. That can be boarded and dabbed, should I say, and start bonding above the ceiling. Still got the brickwork to do up there, but we're going to do that once we get everything done. We got that little bit there to plasterboard in down there. So there we are. See you in the morning.